Calumet Painting and Restoration is joining the game here, and we appreciate it. Your name is what?
Rick Suarez. Office is on Columbia Avenue, 6733 Columbia in Hammond, right across the street from the resale shop there. We're the building that has all the flowers in front of it all summer long. So come by and check the flowers out at the very least, I guess.
What? So where are you from?
I'm from North Hammond. Grew up in North Hammond, over by the roller dome. If you guys remember roller skating, yeah.
Right by Wally's place.
Yeah. I grew up pretty much in the Cavalier end. So, but yeah, it brings back memories. I go back there every now and then. Yeah, I grew up in North Hammond. I'm a Hammond High Wildcat. That school doesn't exist anymore, but like there was 5 of us. It's kind of funny back in the day in that neighborhood. It was kind of a separated. You could go to any school. We had 5 friends. We all ended up going to different high schools. You know, one went to Clark, one went to Bishop Knoll, one went to Tech, one went to Clark, and then there was another guy. I forgot where he went. He went out. I went to like Mount Carmel or something like that. So it was just different times. You know, different times. We got along though. We got along, except on the weekends. You know, when the games were going on. But yeah, it's great times.
How long has Calumet Painting been around?
We've been around 30 years off and on, and you know we've gone into different facets. You know, we were just residential painters at one time. You know, painting contractors typically all start the same. They start inside their homes. You know, kind of small time. You get a business card and you start hustling. I was a Hammond fireman. I'm a retired Hammond fireman. So when I got onto the fire department, one of the captains, like. Back, I guess so. Even probably now, a lot of the guys would do side work. You know, when they were painters or what you name it, plumbers. Like if you wanted something done, there was somebody that was in the trades on the fire department. But I got tied up with a captain that needed some help, so I started painting. I had a little bit of construction history behind me, so I kind of enjoyed it. We would do mostly the summertime. We'd be outside working, and so it kind of evolved from there. And so you know, I retired about 8 years ago, and at that point I just concentrated more on my painting business, and we kind of evolved into restoration contractors where we kind of do the gamut of we could do kitchens, bathrooms, all kind of remodeling. We're general contractors in a lot of different towns. We do a lot of restoration work for condo association, homeowners associations, where we come in and we just do all the repairs. We're kind of like a one-stop shop. Now we can do all the repairs prior to the painting, so that the boards don't have to go out and run schedules and get 2 or 3 different contractors. They can just get us when we come in and take care of everything for them. You know. So
we're talking to Rick Suarez. We're going to talk home improvement. I have not ever done a home improvement show on JED TV and on WJOB radio, so this is a first, and I'm kind of
awesome.
I'm kind of excited about it because I have some personal questions that I want to ask about how to fix things. Mm-hmm. But if you have any, 219-845-1100. Ricardo, one of the things I want to hit before we go into, we'll come back to you, what you guys do. I mean, I have a lot of questions about the firefighting aspect of it, and how a lot of firefighters, remember Taberski?
Oh yeah, he was just in my office yesterday.
Yeah, Taberski. I mean, he's he's one of my plumbers that I use.
Yeah.
And he was just doing that when he was a firefighter, and now he kind of just does it on his own. He's choosy about his work, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But
you can say that again.
As a matter of fact, I know Taberski fairly well.
Yeah.
And depending what day it is, he could be one of the grumpiest plumbers in America.
Yeah, that's what he's known for. Yeah,
that's what he's known for.
I tell my office, we need something done, and I hope he's not listening or takes us the wrong way. But like I said, you know what? I feel like getting yelled at today. I'm going to call Tom.
We're both going to get yelled at. Yeah, and he's a massive guy, and of course his daughter was a
great basketball player.
Great basketball player. State. I think she was all state at the time, but he's an example like you are, someone who goes out and, well, I can kind of do this, and then all of a sudden it's your retirement job, and there's a lot of firefighters who do that. But in terms of basically home improvement, it's called Calumet Painting, and I know that you guys do a lot of painting, but now you got a lot of people that are doing some other things. And I just want to maybe open it up talking about some of the the issues that are facing people with home improvement.
Yeah.
It's a little better now. It's a lot better now. But for a while there, you couldn't get the supplies.
Couldn't get the supplies or the contractors, really. Anybody that was, I would say any good or reliable, you couldn't get them to come out for 6 months. Like everybody's backlog, 6 months, and a part of it was the material, trying to get the material. You had to order it, everything was on backlog. So that was kind of the delay, but really it was the labor. And actually still we have a little bit of, I know the subject you guys were talking about earlier, but there still is a labor shortage, I think, for the contractors. We're limited. It limits our growth by how much workforce we have, and so we always kind of like, if we grow, we kind of grow, like on a slower basis. But yeah, as far as the, getting contractors out there, it's getting better, but there's still a lag behind on some contractors. Right now is the best time to get a painter, by the way, because I don't think there's never enough work in the winter for painters, so it's a quick turnover typically. But
if you want to paint
if
interior,
you want interior,
right now,
yes, absolutely.
Right
yeah,
now,
absolutely.
and
yeah.
I've had been in the construction, not necessarily that level. But yeah, you got to time your projects, and you can get a little better price.
Yes.
Same thing with like tree people that
all
trim trees,
stuff.
man. If you got to time it, you can't call them in June. You know what I mean?
Oh, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So in terms of some of the other challenges that are facing right now, I mean, there's a lot of talks about who needs to get a permit, who doesn't need to get a permit.
Yeah.
And, when do you need a licensed contractor and that kind of stuff. And I think in Gary right now, they're facing, hey, let's streamline our permitting process.
Yeah.
And the different towns, but there's 19 municipalities in Lake County, they all have different reputations about, it's pretty easy to get a permit here. It's not easy here. The inspector's never around. The inspector's right there with you all of the time.
Yeah.
But you need all that stuff done, and people want to fix stuff and just start doing it. You got to have that little tag.
You do, and every town's different. You mentioned Gary. Gary was notorious for. You can ask any contractor. Was the most troublesome to get, because it was bureaucracy in there. It was just like running all over the place. You could get it, but it was just a pain to get.
Mayor Melton is trying to.
He's
one of his things that he's addressing.
That's the first time I've heard that. That's actually good news.
I mean, he was in here and we addressed that. I think a builder called in and said, "Hey, what about this?"
Yeah, I'm sure you heard it from other people. Yeah, absolutely.
But
so
you need the permit.
You need the permits. If you get any plumber or electrician that goes into your house, you just don't. I mean, I have some good guys that are really good electricians that are not licensed. I'll let them do like minor things for me. But if I'm working for somebody else or in a home, I would never take that chance. We always go with the licensed electrician and a licensed plumber because, they catch your house on fire for one, or cause major damage if they don't know how to hook up some plumbing issues. So it's just something you don't really need to take that chance. It's like the chance you're taking outweighs the damage that may cause your home. So. It's just that doesn't make much sense to do that. All the other stuff, anything that if you're not doing something structural, like in Hammond, you don't really need a permit on a residential home. Like if you're painting and stuff like that. They were a little bit in that. They might have changes, but I'm not even sure they have a residential painting license yet in Hammond. They've always let the painters just kind of do their own thing. Now, if you're doing a commercial job, absolutely, you got to have a painter's license to do a commercial building. It's a little bit different. They divide the commercial and the residential side of it, But me personally, if it's my house, I'm going to get someone that's licensed and reputable. That's one of the things I was going to tell you. This being the first show, if anybody's got a question for me, I'm not here to sell you anything or sell you a paint job or something. I'm here to help you buy a paint job. I can help you with some of the questions if you've got other painters there or other people. Some of the questions you should ask them to help you through that process of getting the right contractor in your home.
Well, let's start with that. Now is a good time to paint the interior of your house. And you're looking out, you go out and all right, I'm going to get 2, maybe 3 bids or whatever.
Yeah.
What are the questions you should be asking that painter?
Well, you want to know what kind of, painting's, I will say the most important thing, because as a painter, I'm kind of anal about it, but really, like, the one thing that's going to set your whole job apart is the preparation work that's done. So you want to know how much prep work that guy's going to do or girl's going to do. And you ask them, they should document it, like we're going to do, fix all the nail holes, remove all of, all of the pictures. What is it that they're going to do? Are they going to move furniture for you? Are they going to cover it? Are they putting tarps down? Or, all those things. Are they going to mask things off? Are they going to maybe build a barrier so that the dust doesn't go into the next room? Are they going to vacuum when they get done? So all those things that should be written down on their proposal. And then you get into what type of primers they're going to use, and then what kind of paint that you want. Now the color's always up to the homeowner to me. And there's a joke in the painting industry that we never accept a signature on colors from the husband. It has to be the wife that signs off on it, because typically the women are the ones that are better color. They have a better color eye or coordination, I guess. So so the steps, on the actual painting are basically that you want to make sure that the prep is shown in the book, and then what type of products and how many coats they plan on using, and that everything that you want done is documented in that proposal. It goes onto there, like you want to make sure that they have insurance and that they're licensed if it's required. They have all of that kind of documentation, and you want to always ask them what happens. We call it unforeseen and unknown extra costs. There's always something that comes up. What happens if you start working up in that corner somewhere and all the drywall is rotted up there? How much of that is covered in the proposal, or how much, or what is it going to cost me to fix it? So you can get some of that information out in front, so you don't get caught with a big surprise. A lot of that particular language really hits you more on the outside of the house, because there's rotted wood out there and that kind of stuff. You can't see it until you get up there.
Soffits especially,
so,
that kind of stuff. Yeah.
It looks good until you get up there and you put your finger goes through it. Well, you can't paint over that, so you got to come down the ladder and tell the homeowner, hey, there's a piece of wood up there. And I always tell them, you ain't going to hurt my feelings if you get your buddy to go replace that wood. Just let us know what it's done. We'll go to the other side of the house and paint over there. If you want us to do it, it's going to be this much money, and just go on. You're always better off just being honest with the homeowner and let them make the decision of which way to go. You can just kind of lead them that what you think. I can tell them what I think is best, but it ain't my house. It's really the decision of the homeowner.
What about the paint itself?
The paint, now on the interior, most 100% acrylic paints are the way they go. They just have more elasticity. They have better color retention. Even like on, varnishes, like if you're varnishing your door, like if you stained, woodwork. I'm a big believer in the water-based varnish, because they don't yellow. Like you ever see those old floors? They got like an orangey color to them. That's oil-based. They just amber up that way. It's just the way they're made. If you get a water-based one, they just stay clear all the time. So the way you see it when they finish is the way it never really changes. They're great products, and they've come a long, long way in the chemistry of it. It's like unbelievable the stuff they have.
I was going to say, it's been a long time since I've painted with an acrylic paint on the interior, probably the 1990s.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember painting with it and going, I'm not using this stuff anymore. It was
they used to call it latex paint back in the day.
Yeah, it was latex paint. It went on funny.
Yeah.
And then when it dried, it kind of I felt as if it chipped a lot, and I was used to the oil-based paints and so forth. But I have heard that also, that the acrylics are, they've basically been able to get and especially if you want like a semi-gloss acrylic, that can hold it for a long time.
Yes, it's really unbelievable. I think I'm thinking back 35 years when I first started painting, how far I was the same way, and you could see there's a difference in the durability. Like oil-based always was more durable. It was shinier, it was harder, got harder. That ain't the case anymore. These other paints that have come a long way, and actually they got these what they call oil modified paints, where they have oil in the paint, but they're water-based paints. So the vehicle is, the oil is more of like a vegetable kind of an oil. So it washes up with soap and water. Like you brush your hands, you can clean it with like Dawn. It takes everything off the brushes off your hands. And when it gets hard, when it gets dry, it really gets real hard. It has a real nice durability for scrubbing and washing. There's a lot of them. All the companies, I typically use Sherwin-Williams from down the street here.
It's right across the street.
Yeah, but ICI Glidden's over, or I just call them, it's not even ICI Glidden's anymore. There I go dating myself again.
I forgot what that's called.
Pittsburgh PPG.
PPG. Yeah, so I just looked out the window. It's right there.
Yeah, so they have a great line of paints too. Benjamin Moore, if you go up into the city, for some reason, all of the color coordinators or designers, they go with Benjamin Moore. They have a better fan deck of colors, and they go that route. So I don't pick the product for the customers unless they ask me to. Then I'm typically going to go with Sherwin-Williams because we're familiar with the products. That's what we do.
We're talking to Ricardo Suarez. This, if you're listening to it another time, this is being recorded on January 21st of 2025. Ricardo has joined the Community Programming Initiative, and over time, if you got any questions about what to do in your house and basically all home repairs, all you got to do is call in, and Ricardo will take your questions. I have a couple right now. I have 2 issues that I need to fix myself.
Okay.
And one of them is that I put the dishwasher in, and the dang thing, it's brand new dishwasher, hooked up, works great, but I can't get it to lock in to the cabinet. You got any ideas? I mean,
did you screw it up underneath?
You screwed it up on the side.
Yeah.
You're pointing up.
Yeah.
I did not know there were screws on the top.
Yeah.
There is?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's what the problem is.
Yeah,
because
you open the door, and there should be 2 little flanges that come out of the dishwasher, and then you screw those up.
Okay, there's 2 on the sides, and
be,
I got those, and they keep coming loose.
Yeah, they should be. Typically, there's 2 on the top that hold it because you always pull the door, and that's where
you're always pulling the door, and you pull it.
Yeah.
I fix the flange on the side, and it's too much force.
Yeah.
I did not know there was 2 on the
there
top,
should
and I'm
be.
not watching a YouTube video.
Yeah.
I'll ask Ricardo Suarez.
Yeah. Well,
all right.
we'll see.
So I got that one. My brother, or my son-in-law, bought his own vanity, and he's going to sweat his own pipe and replace his own sink and vanity. Do you recommend that?
I don't know if he's done it before. I guess I would ask.
No, he has not done it before. He's doing it off a YouTube video.
He sounds like he wants to use copper. The way you said sweating.
It's old house. It's old house with copper piping down.
They have a lot of that PEX line now. I don't know if you know what that is, where it's just you connect it and then you
I know what it is. I've never used it.
And you crimp it. I'm not a big fan of it because I don't know how to do it very well either, but I know just about all the plumbers kind of have gone that route. It's so much easier. You don't have to sit there and sweat it, especially up in the, like you get up in a small space, So they just do that. They get the line, it goes through, and then there's a connector you put it on there, and then there's a crimper. You crimp it, and then turn the water on. If it ain't leaking, you're done. So that's what I would suggest.
You know what?
Yeah,
I will let them know. I mean, actually, I think the pipe comes out of the wall, and then it's copper.
Yeah.
I'm not altogether sure it wouldn't be better to just, where it comes out of the wall, take the rest of that copper off. And what's that called again?
It's called PEX, P-E-X lines. It might be another name, but that's the one that I know. Menards carries them. Home Depot, everybody's got them.
Okay, I got one more. I got an outlet outside that is not working.
We're covering all the bases here.
Yeah, we are. We're going to go electrical. And I've reset the breaker a bunch of times. So obviously that needs to be pulled out. That's something you guys can do too. You can get somebody over there.
We get an electrician there. Yeah. I'm not a licensed electrician, so I'm not going to tell you what to do there. But I would suggest that you, or you could call us, and I could give you a name of a reputable electrician. That you could just deal directly with him if it's a small job.
I could call Dodie over here too.
Or you could if you have enough confidence in him. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. She's actually that's who I normally call. But that's for WJOB over here whenever we have any issues. Yeah. So in terms of you're talking about painting, doing it right now. If somebody wants to call and say, hey, man, that guy's right. I'm going to call Ricardo Suarez out of North Hammond, former firefighter. What the heck? Why not just do it right now? I got the money. Yeah. They got to leave their house?
On inside work, no. Typically, no. That's one of the beauties of, we were talking about water-based paint. They actually have water-based paint that has very little odor, or some of them don't have any odor to them at all. So it doesn't drive you out of the house like the oil paints would, So that's another advantage of it. No, you don't have to. We work around people. We, like in bedrooms, we can usually do them. We concentrate and get it done in one day, and then we'll jump out of there, and then they get their bedroom back, that kind of stuff. So we work with the homeowners, and they basically give us a plan of where they want us to start, and we I have 14 painters that are in my company, so we can man it up like we say. I typically don't like more than 3 guys in a house, but we could get more if we
It's a
needed
bigger
to.
house, maybe.
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, we can. And if they're in a rush, like sometimes something happens, they got people coming to the house now, party, they forgot that they needed the house painted, around the holidays, before the holidays or something. Yeah, we can go in and knock a house
They
out
got a
pretty
family
quick.
reunion coming in, and
Something,
they want the
yeah.
house painted.
Yeah, yeah,
and
you
they
know how it
want it
goes.
painted in
Yeah.
3 days,
Yeah,
and there's
right.
5 bedrooms.
No doubt.
I got 14 painters.
Hey,
It's the middle of winter. I can do it right now.
Oh, welcome to my life. Yeah, that's basically, yeah. And we could do it. We'd have to do some coordination with it, and definitely we could get it done. That's not that difficult.
So is it mostly painting?
Like on inside work, very, very rarely do we go in and just paint. It's usually something else. They usually want baseboards installed, or they would need a door put in, or so all that happens, or they got damage. They've had water damage from a roof, so they'll call us to fix that first, So there's always typically, very rarely anymore do we just come in and paint, I was telling you earlier off the air that the one thing we don't do is we don't install wallpaper, but that's one of those things that we would sub out. I would get somebody, so typically there's some girls that are really good at it that come in. There's just not a big call for it, so I don't keep a wallpaper guy in.
What about
staff.
drywall?
Oh, drywall, yeah, we do. That's part of the deal. That's a part of the trade.
Are you any good at it?
Oh, my guys are, not me personally, but my guys are, yeah.
I have
Yeah.
I have put drywall
Yeah.
in, and
Yeah,
my
why?
wife is like,
Why?
I'm sitting here watching
Yeah.
TV, and I look over there, and I can see that seam for the last so many years. Please do not do the drywall next time.
Yeah, that's the biggest mistake homeowners make. I mean, it's it's doable. You can do it, but people forget that that's what they're going to see for the next 20 years. Just get someone to do it right, and just get it over with.
And we do need to address one thing before we go. Once again, this is being recorded on January 21st of 2025. It is the coldest day in a very long time around here. Mm-hmm. And there are, right now, as a matter of fact, I think as we're talking, it's like 7 degrees below zero. Let's go through some things that homeowners should think about when it's this cold.
As far as not going outside would be the good first thing.
No, but I mean, like, I have... over here, I turned all the water off.
Yeah.
I'll just tell you
Yeah.
what I did is I turned, we turned all the water off. Nobody ever goes into WJOB.
Yeah.
It is a commercial property,
Mm-hmm.
but inside where the main valve is,
Mm-hmm.
I'll go in there on a day like today, and I put a little heater in there just so that the valve itself doesn't freeze, because now there's no, there's no. We keep it. We don't even turn the heat on a lot of the times.
Yeah.
So you have a really cold situation coming from the outside. It's not that well insulated.
Yeah.
But we're keeping. We keep the valves so
Yeah.
that we don't have
Yeah.
that bust,
Yeah.
and that would be a big problem. But we had a guy call in earlier about don't forget about between your valve and your outside spigots is often a problem also.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it depends on the age of the home. I think the newer they are, the thought process on that kind of stuff happening is a little bit better. Some of the older homes, I remember actually in my shop now, the way the water comes in, there's a couple points where it gets too close to the top of the ground, and you don't have the 3 feet where the pipe's at underneath there, and so we have to keep, like days like today, I keep the water running just a drip
on the outside,
on the inside, so
yeah.
the water's flowing all the time. So then it has to get really cold for it to freeze. It's pretty hard for it to freeze as long as that water's moving. So probably drive your water uphill a little bit, but it's a lot cheaper than having a.
What about your outside spigots on some of these older homes?
On the older ones, it could be a problem. Those should have been shut off a long time ago, and I would think that they probably would be dried out. The newer ones have the no frost valve on them, where all you got, once you open them up and drain them out in the fall, it's really hard for them to freeze. I think they're actually made to leave water in them so that they expand. I'm not sure how it works, to be honest with you, but I know that we were talking about Taberski. He always kind of yells at me about that. You don't need to drain them or whatever. He's just there. I put the right thing in there. He does. He's got these no frost things that he always puts in when he does the outside spigot. So yeah, if you have those frost.
From what I understand, you got a house where I'm taking care of now, and there's a little valve, and there's that outside spigot.
Yeah.
So that valve's turned off, and then you turn the outside spigot off, and then it just drains it. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
He is Ricardo Suarez, and he has joined the Community Programming Initiative, and this is the first show recorded in January of 2025. Hey, man, I look forward to this.
No problem.
Go ahead. I know you got a couple things.
I want to throw a couple of things out.
We're up against the clock here.
Okay.
So
I got a minute?
Yeah, you got a minute. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. A couple of things. If there's anybody, last year we painted the Little Red Schoolhouse over there. It's a community thing for the community out there. Anybody out there listening that has something similar that they would want to call the office at 219-844-7501. We'll give it some consideration. We send our guys out there. We provide the paint and all the labor. And I want to keep it in Hammond if it's possible, but I guess we'd go into.
I mean, like a community service.
Yeah. So if there's something, we feel that it's always good to get back to our community. It's just, something that we do. We're doing pretty good. The company does well, and so. So just keep that in mind if there's somebody out there that needs something done. And then we do a bunch of home shows coming. We have some coming up. We have one in Porter County on February the 8th. That's coming up in a couple of weeks. That's at the Porter County Fairground. We do one in Tinley Park that is probably, I think, is the best home show in the area. It's right down 80. You get off on the first, I can't think of the name of the road, whatever. It's at the Tinley Park Convention Center. It's on the 15th.
And you guys will be there?
We'll be there. We'll be at all these. And then in Michigan City at the Blue Chip on the 1st of March and the 2nd of March. We do one for Munster Parks. It's a one-day thing in the grade school on Columbia Avenue, which the name of the school, it's next to the high school. You'll see the signs if you head that way. That's
in the middle school.
In the middle school.
Yeah, the Wilbur Wright Middle School.
Wilbur Wright, yeah. On the 8th of March. And then on the 5th of April, we're at the Oak Lawn Center. We do a 2-day home show there on the 5th and the 6th. I can give you more information on the Oak Lawn one. I forget the name of that community center. But you can go there. Most of those shows are free. You can walk through. If you got other stuff going on, there's a lot of good contractors there that do different kind of stuff. You can go in there. And if you're looking for painting, definitely search us out. And, we're kind of low-key guys. We go there, and we're not pressure people. We don't go there and try to sell you anything. We can kind of explain what we do for you and how we can help you, I guess. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And your number at Calumet again?
My office number is 219-844-7501, and our email is Calumet Painting. Our website, calumetpainting.com, and my email is rick@calumetpainting.com.
All right, there it is. Ricardo Suarez. He'll be part of the team. You'll hear it. We'll pick up specific topics in the near future.